All right, so just a bit of a trigger warning for this video, y'all. We're going to be talking about some highly sensitive topics really quick, and then we're going to move on to something a little bit lighter. But I wanted to bring you this because it is developing in the news right now. It's pretty much all over social media. So I figured we might as well cover it, but we'll try to do so with a bit of sensitivity as we talk about it, okay? So the Drew and Ralph thing, it's getting progressively worse, but now it's getting bad. So Drew says that there's video evidence of her estranged husband, Ralph Pittman, severely putting paws on their son. So it says the Real Housewives of Atlanta star recently ordered to be out of the Georgia residence she currently shares with her soon to be ex husband, Ralph, by the end of the month, is pushing back. She informed the court that if the decision isn't reversed, that she and her teenage son Josiah could face homelessness. The judge then granted Ralph primary custody of the two kids that they share together, whom he and Drew welcomed during their marriage. Now, in this latest filing that has been obtained by TMZ, Drew says that she previously submitted evidence, a video in which Ralph could be heard severely beating the party's son. She also claimed her ex even admitted to physical abuse back in 2024, but later denied everything during a hearing last month. Given his alleged documented history of physically abusing the party's son, Drew said that she is confused as to why the court ruled in Ralph's favor to begin with, continuing her fight against being ordered out of the home by May 13th. She also said Ralph admitted that they are $25,000 behind on mortgage payments. The court has yet to rule on Drew's most recent motion. There's a lot here to unpack. And so I'm going to just ask some questions that I want you guys tell me. You tell me, as our old Nini meme would suggest. Let me ask you guys. So, what type of beatings are these? I have to be real about that because we live in a different day and age. I know when I was growing up, people used to get beatings all the time. So it was not an uncommon thing growing up to have heard about, to have seen, to have witnessed, or to have had one yourself. But I also understand that as time moves forward, those things become a lot more well thought out and discussed. And I'm choosing my words carefully because I feel like I want to be, again, as sensitive to this particular situation and also try to understand it at the same time. Because there is typically, if we look at what a lot of us experience growing up and what is deemed as actual physical abuse, back then those things seemed dramatically different, right? So it would be one thing to be struck with a switch or something like that, or a belt, because people used to use the phrase spare the rod, spoil the child. And there's a difference between that and actual like abuse, right? Child, I don't even know how to say it, to be honest with you. All I know is that it would be one thing for you to get a whooping, and it would be another thing for child services to come and have to take you away. Okay. But as we've moved forward, the idea of parenting and gentle parenting has really become a thing. For a lot of people, they, at this point in time, do not view like putting your hands on a child or giving them a switch or anything like that is acceptable. Again, the times change. So, what are we looking at here? Is this stern discipline or is this abuse at this point? And I'm asking you guys because I don't have the answers and I don't have any kids in this regard, but the story is out there. But I will tell you guys one thing, and I wanted to have a real conversation versus just kind of glossing over it because I really want to understand how you guys feel when you see this and when you read this. And I would really love in the comment section your perception. The other thing that I want to say about this is when the story gets to be to this point, and I hate to say a story but I'm relating it back to reality TV. I just wonder, with so much happening between Drew and Ralph and more revelations becoming more and more prevalent, like this revelation that they are $25,000 behind on the mortgage payments, This is feeling very reminiscent of what we're experiencing with Kim and Croy, where so many details about this divorce are playing out in the media, and we have to now sort of look and decide, like, how much is too much information to know, and then how does this reflect on her standing on this show? And I can imagine that right now she's just in a period where she is fighting for her life or fighting for the things that she loves. And she's going to, I would imagine, pull out all the stops. But some people in the comments are asking, the cops were never called for this abuse. Like, how did this, what was the context? And I think that's important in this situation as well. But again, you guys let me know what you think. Okay. Y'all, Monique is back in the mix for season 11 of The Real Housewives of Potomac, according to the Neighborhood Talk. Y'all, we knew that there was going to be some shakes, right? It was going to be some shakes happening. And we knew, based on what Bravo had posted, that the returning housewives would be Ashley, Karen, Giselle, Wendy, Tia, Stacy. And we also heard that Robin would be returning as a friend of. So it left a lot of us wondering, well, that means that obviously Kiana is out, Angel is out, Jazzy out, and then that left Monique to be out as well. So this now all makes sense if she's returning as a friend of. Because as you guys may know, the friend of can oftentimes film as much as the main cast members. I mean, look at Cynthia Bailey, for God's sake. She's actually leading the cast trip to Dallas. It is her cast trip for the season of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. So this will be interesting to me because it brings back an era of nostalgia for the ladies. And I'm interested to see it's almost so much nostalgia that you have to wonder what is going to be new, right? But so many things have shifted, I think, with so many of the ladies. We understand where Wendy is right now. And we honestly, that could change very rapidly while the season is filming. So you would want to have a somewhat full roster of people, I would imagine. And I'm looking at this lineup of women right here, and I'm like, many of these ladies, I mean, I guess there was conflict between them. Karen's in a new space in her mind for her. We're not sure where Robin is, although Robin has pretty much stayed in the news because she's been on the receiving end of K. Michelle's wrath for quite some time now. K. Michelle's wrath, Nene Leaks has called her starless. She's been catching strays every which way. So I feel like this, girl, if you're going to be catching all of these strays, you should be getting extra paid for it. Okay. Extra paid. Now, the Neighborhood Talk does go on to say that no official confirmation is dropped just yet, but if this lineup sticks, it's about to be messy as HE hockey sticks. It will be interesting because that means that the drama is going to have to be served by the leading ladies. We cannot rely on just the friends to serve the drama in this instance, although we know that the friends of can bring it because they've brought it in the past, actually against each other. What do you guys think of this? How are you feeling? I think that now I feel a little bit better about this cast as we sort of rounded out at least 8 principal players, 6 main, 2 friends who we're actually very familiar with and who are also both very opinionated when they want to be, right? I'm interested. Interesting stories, guys. I mean, there's a lot to talk about here. There's a lot to discuss. And I would imagine also too, we have heard that there are other people who are also filming in the mix. Okay. There's a friend of Stacy's that is in the mix, potentially, that was filming with the ladies. One of the I think it was the Wizards game, according to if I remember No Chaser TV posting about it. And there was another young lady that has been circulating that's been making the rounds as well. And she does a lot of prophecy type content. I think I've seen her stuff on Instagram before. I don't know what else she does. I know that I believe she's married, but I know that she also speaks a lot of prophecy stuff. I say prophecy stuff because I'm trying to say it in the right way. Y'all, listen, these stories right here, they got me good on these. I'm stuck. All right. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section down below. How do you feel about this new cast? And where do you guys feel in this whole Drew and Ralph situation? What do you make of it? Like, if you can read through all of the stuff that you see online, what is your gut telling you about what is happening here and what should happen next?